So China is building these massive housing complexes pretty much around every city in the entire country, big or small. Sometimes they're going up even way out in the middle of nowhere. Just thousands and thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of these high-rise apartment buildings everywhere. That sounds funny. This is like the most populous country in the world, but I mean, you see all these like super massive, tall structures that can house hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And you have to wonder where they're getting all the people from, right? But one thing that I found out is that given enough time, many of these apartment complexes do get filled with people eventually. I don't really know how, because the units are really expensive, and a lot of people buy them as investments, not really as places to live. But if you give enough time, people eventually move in. Either people who bought them or people who are renting the buildings. But like development in China kind of goes it kind of works on like almost the opposite model as like in the West, right? You start putting up these high rises like pretty much out in the middle of nowhere, out in the outskirts of a city, and then you build up a city around the residential units rather than building up like a core city center and then building up residential areas around the center. So it's kind of backwards from the way we do it, but I mean, other than the sheer excess of building that's going on in this country, I mean, the model is not a bad way to do things, really. And if you go to these developments 10 years, 15 years after they're built, a lot of times you can't even tell that they were once new and once abandoned. I mean, Shanghai's Pudong was once a ghost city. You know what I mean? That was before the whole ghost city hype and all that. But I mean, in Zhongdong new district outside of Zhengzhou in Henan province, it's coming to life, and these places do. A lot of times they do eventually come to life. But the fact of the matter is that they're building these things out of control. And I mean, if you take like any business initiative or development initiative as far as China's taken, building these high rises, new districts, expanding their existing cities, building cities out in the middle of nowhere, some of them are going to fail, and you are going to have some ghost cities, and that's it wouldn't be normal if it were otherwise, right? It wouldn't be normal if they filled up all these places and every single like new development turned into a thriving new urban district, right? I mean, that would just be beyond the realms of like possibility, because there's just so many of them. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, And as far as like these new apartment complexes that are being built like out in the middle of nowhere, like remove pretty much anything else. I mean, the numbers are in thousands, easily in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, because they're everywhere. Anyway, this is Wade Shepherd, TobaccoMonterey.com, and I'm in a new housing complex. It was just built. Apparently, it was just built somewhat recently, and hardly has anybody living in it yet. I mean, the place is like easily said it's over 99% uninhabited. Anyway, thanks for watching. A lot of people in the West and the Western media, when they see these new housing complexes like this that are pretty much mostly abandoned, they start saying like things like ghost city, corruption, blah blah blah. They're just corrupt officials and developers. They're building these places to take government kickbacks and artificially inflate their GDP to make themselves look good, and artificially stimulate the economy and create jobs, and blah blah blah. And I'm not gonna say that's not true, because that is part of the reason why they are building these places to the extent that they are, which is completely excessive. It's just not that simple, right? It's just not a case of them just throwing up these massive new cities, these massive new apartment complexes to boost their GDP and embezzle money for themselves, right? And then they're forgetting about the places. Nah, it's not that simple. I mean, these places aren't being built and forgotten about. They're not being built and abandoned. They're being built and developed and the development process is continuous and ongoing. For my research throughout this Ghost City project, which I've been to pretty much all the major so-called ghost cities in China, and like tons and tons of minor new city developments, kind of like the one behind me. Generally takes about 10 years from the time the apartment complexes in a new district or a new city area is open for them to become really functioning urban centers. I mean, we've seen that in Dantu, right? In Jiangsu province, outside of Heilongjiang. Dantu is called one of China's oldest ghost cities, one of China's first ghost cities, but it's not a ghost city anymore, right? It opened and started letting people in about 10 years ago. It took about 10 years for the area to become developed enough for it to be actually called a real city, right? And it's same case all across the board. It's generally taking these massive new districts, massive new city areas, or those Kambasher, Zhengdong. It's generally taken well, it's looking like it's going to take about 10 years before they're fully up and running and operational. And that makes sense. You don't just build a new city in a day, expect to be full of people and businesses. It just doesn't happen like that. But I mean, basically the point, one of the main points of doing this Ghost City series was to show the process to basically to show that that these places aren't just being built and forgotten about and ditched, and government officials and developers pocketing the cash. Now they're actually being developed and they're actually being worked into like an overarching plan of urban development throughout the country. The degree to which this works, it varies between places, but this isn't just a simple cut and dry instance of government corruption or artificial inflated GDP. No, they're actually building and developing these new cities, these new districts, these new developments, these new complexes, with the genuine intent of having them become inhabited and having them become actual urban centers. Anyway, thanks for watching. Wade Shepherd, back on my journey now.